unemployment rate is still one of the lowest we've had in history. It's in the 3.6 area. We still find ourselves with people investing. My hope is we go from this rapid growth to steady growth. And so we'll see some coming down. But I don't think we're going to, God willing, I don't think we're going to see a recession.
And what is exactly the White House's definition of a recession?
Again, I'm not going to define it from here. I'm just going to leave it to the NBER, as we have stated, how they define recession.
They have declared one.
I'm just saying that we're just not going to define it. We use the indicators that the NBER, the National Bureau of Economic Research, has used. We've mentioned that a few times.
GDP will be closely watched. A common definition of recession is 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, or at least that's something that's been true in past recessions. When we've seen that, there has usually been a recession. And many economists expect second quarter GDP to be negative. First quarter GDP was negative.
Is the White House trying to change the common definition of a recession because next Thursday the GDP numbers coming out are going to show that we've been in a recession?
So let me say this, the strength of our labor market along with the other economic factors is what we generally see in a recession, or even what is not what we generally see in a recession or even a pre-recession.
Good morning. That's a good intro, man.
Thanks,
I really
made
like
it myself.
I really like the music for that. I'm probably going to overuse that music because I really do. It's got a nice little beat to it.
It is nice. That's great, Dag. I agree 100%. No idea what you just said.
Dag's driving through the swamp. We can't hear him.
Sorry, the old orange juice factory must have blocked my cell service there.
Mark, you need to get like a steering wheel to set on your desk, just so it looks like you're driving as well.
Like an old Need for Speed thing you used to hook up to the computer.
Yeah. Then we can all have steering wheels while we do the.
I mean, I can go get in my car if you really need me to.
So, Mark, how are you doing, man? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, it's been a week. I survived the vid thus far, anyways.
That's good.
You sound so serious when you say that. That's
really.
Well, I mean, for you to have missed a week's worth of shows, it must have been really bad. That's all I'm saying, man. You must have really been hurting in order to leave us hanging like that. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like you're making pointed remarks.
We are really glad that you survived because, we don't have a backup plan for if you had died. We would just have to go press forward with 3 people, or I guess we could always recruit AOC's actual boyfriend and
reach out to the guy at least.
Then we don't have to change the graphics or anything. We can just keep everything the same.
You think he has a beautiful background like this back here?
I don't see a book today. Is there a book?
No book today.
Nope.
Just woke up, so didn't have time to put one back there.
That's right. We heard his alarm as we were trying to start the show.
The whole 3-minute heads up. Have we talked about the Alex Stein catcalling AOC? Speaking of AOC?
I think we talked about it like the day after it happened, but we haven't done anything like really in depth with it. I don't guess.
I just heard about that one. It was pretty funny. Alex Stein is growing on me quite a bit.
Did we talk about it? I think we may have even talked about it off the show, Justin. I remember you showing me the clip because I had not heard of it yet. But I don't even think we were.
Is that what we did?
I think so.
I don't know. It's hard to keep up. We talk about so much. I mean, we do this 3 times a week, or at least those of us who actually show up. So we talk about so much. It gets hard to keep track of. I'm sure we talk about the same things over and over again a few times. So, Steve, unless Steven starts complaining, we're just going to run with the AOC today.
There we go.
Oh, mercy.
Yeah, that was hilarious though, because he's on the steps and doing the, hey, look, it's my favorite big booty Latina AOC. Hey, AOC, she wants to kill babies. She wants to kill babies, but she's so pretty. And then she comes over, she's like, hey, let's take a selfie. And then a little while later, after she realized that he was trolling her, she comes out on the steps of the Capitol and does this video where she goes, there's this guy, and she holds the phone like over her shoulder, and like, that guy right there is out here harassing people, and he's standing down at the bottom of the steps, sees her like pointing the phone at him, he's like, ah!
He waves. That is the best part.
He was waving at her. Well, apparently that resulted. He was supposed to do like a comedy show or something, and she got his comedy show canceled. So
it got canceled. I know that it got protested.
They canceled.
That's
it.
crazy.
She got canceled.
So she was behind the
he
cancel.
issued refunds. Yeah, that's so it seems anyway. So he issued refunds to everybody who had bought tickets for the show, and then he went and set up shop on the steps of the Capitol building and did a live impromptu comedy show for everybody who wanted to show up right on the steps of the Capitol building.
Oh, that's fucking great. And he's got some balls. I'll give him that for sure.
We did show his rap, I think, at one point when he was rapping in front of some city council.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was back when we still weren't 100% sure if he was serious or not.
I know. I saw the rap, and I went and checked out his YouTube channel and everything, and like I watched a few of the episodes on his YouTube channel because he does like a podcast or something like that too. And after watching a couple of them, it's like, oh man, this is a total troll job. Like he had some chick from Newsmax or one of the more conservative like news. I don't know if you want to call them stations, but like the more conservative news outlets. And he's got some pretty good stuff, and even his more serious stuff is really good too. He's sharp. That's who we need to get to replace Mark once Mark dies of schlong COVID.
There you go.
Oh, he'd outshine us all.
Have to step our game up.
Yeah.
Clyde will have to kill that. Clyde will have to kill that rooster, or at least put it outside.
Did you see the Republicans won their congressional baseball game against the Democrats, 10-0?
I didn't. That's fucking hilarious.
I know some Democratic congresswoman who, so let's just say she's slightly overweight.
So slightly that she had to have a pinch runner in a friendly game of softball.
Yeah, it showed her running, and it was not a good sight. But she ran by the Republican dugout and flipped them off as they're down 10-0. It's like, all right.
Okay, so like I wasn't athletic like at all, right? Like in like high school or whatever. Like I rode bikes and shit. I wasn't a fucking twig boy, but I wasn't playing football and shit, right? But like, so like I don't want to talk shit about non-athletic people. But it's just so, like, funny and stereotypical that it's like, the fucking Chad fucking Republicans and then the fucking, like, virgin Democrat, 10-0. It's so fucking hilarious. And it's just so fitting. It's beautiful.
It is. I don't think AOC played, so it didn't get to see Alex Stein's favorite booty running to first base.
Oh, that would have made the game worth watching.
I want to know who played on the Republican team.
Well, didn't Ron Paul used to be
They
like
bring,
the
like-
all-star player?
Probably. I was saying, did they?
I was wondering, did they get a little traumatized from the last time the Republicans tried to play baseball?
Yeah, like
Shot at?
the Bernie staffer shot up the field.
Yeah.
It's they
Probably no
got-
Rand. I guess
Probably
They probably got-
canceled for a little while.
Probably got Matt Getz out there and like a bunch of the young Republican guys just out there smashing softballs.
Can you imagine MTG just like yelling at the opposite dugout from her dugout?
Oh
could,
man,
like- I can picture this.
I bet she's one of those like complete shit talkers. She probably like stands in the outfield and yells at the base runners, calls them girls and stuff. Speaking of Getz, did you see where they what was it that Matt Getz said about ugly chicks?
Oh, the ones protesting Roe v. Wade are ugly.
Yeah, the reporter goes, "So are you saying that all of these protesters are ugly?" And he goes, "Yeah." Don't you think that might be a little offensive? Be offended.
Be offended.
It was perfect.
Call it like I see it.
That's right.
Oh, shit.
Like, I believe in traditional beauty values, not this new crap they're putting on Victoria's Secret catalogs and stuff. Like, let's actually have hot chicks, like the Republicans have, unlike the Democrats.
You telling me you don't like those plus-size models?
You know, it's just not really my cup of tea. Or I guess in that case, bag of potatoes.
Oh, I was so
Fine.
into Victoria's
French
Secret
fries.
catalogs when I was like 10. It's a shame to think they've ruined that. But kids today probably don't need Victoria's Secret catalogs, with the internet existing.
Right? It's
Yeah.
a little more free access to that sort of stuff.
If you take a newspaper and you can take an eraser and you can erase the prints, you erase the bras from the bra ads, you can draw your own boobs in. Tricks
And
of the
now-
trade from a different time, man.
And now we know what to expect when we go to buy artwork from Dag. You buy art from his wife, and you get one type of artistic quality, and then you buy artwork from Dag, and you get newspapers with eraser marks on them.
He has them labeled by like what age he was when he made them too. He's like, I was only 12 years old when I drew them titties.
Don't associate my art with my wife's art, please. You're gonna kill her career. Not cool, guys. Not cool.
As an
He does
adult,
real
having
art, not
actually
just eraser
seen
boob
titties,
art.
I realized that the titties I drew back then weren't very accurate. So.
They're more like stick figure titties, Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Typically,
Dude, your kids are in the car with you. Shut up. Oh God, that was my mother.
I forgot about that.
Way to make it weird.
I just
Justin.
traumatized
Yeah.
myself. Look, they're in the truck for half of these shows. It's always weird. They know what to expect.
At least tell them to not comment. Then I can forget they're there, and it's not weird
Yeah.
to me. Hey, you can
Otherwise,
pipe
that's
down.
Weird for us.
Dag asked very specifically that you not talk during the show so he can forget that you're here and we can continue having these conversations without him feeling bad about it. I'm getting dirty looks on that.
All right, Jack.
I'll take that as
Proceed
a win.
about these stick figure titties. Then.
Maybe you
Oh,
should
fuck.
not.
So is there anything else going on in the news other than a bunch of Chad conservatives talking about AOC's butt and ugly chicks?
I tried. I watched my local news this morning. There wasn't shit.
Nothing. No
Nothing. College
hurricanes
sports
on their
and stuff
way.
bullshit.
Nothing.
No.
Well,
Great show.
I guess.
We'll see you on Monday.
What just happened? Are we all still here?
I'm
I
here.
am.
Yeah.
Did Mark end the show?
No, no, I don't think so.
Steven says something
I
about
say-
China.
Oh,
China?
Nancy Pelosi
Oh,
is.
they're buying up.
Or,
They're buying up U.S. land, probably.
now, Pelosi was going to make a trip to Taiwan, and China said if she did, that they would that would be viewed as an act of aggression or something like that, and they were going to like shoot the plane down or something. And everybody was like, "Yes, do it! How fast can we get her on this plane?" And then him and I guess Winnie the Pooh and one of the Joe Biden clones are going to have a video conference so they can talk about how to proceed with us helping them take over Taiwan so that we can go back to getting cheap stuff for, I don't know what, or maybe we can get more microchips and get past this chip shortage that's been going on.
But I want to make sure the meeting goes well. So I want somebody to ensure that Joe Biden, in fact, cleans his plate before he goes into this meeting. And he's going in on a full tummy and a hopefully a rested brain.
I mean, they should probably just give him whatever they gave him before he did that press conference the other day when his eyes were like wired all the way open. Like, what was going on with that?
I give me some of that.
About.
Dude gave a 2-minute speech and didn't blink once.
Yeah, he must have got something from his son. 2 minutes. That's not military grade drugs. That's street level drugs.
Have we talked about Josh Rohr?
Oh shit!
I don't know who that is.
Who is it?
Josh Rohr.
Who is that?
Gonna need
I
some
feel like
more
I've heard some
information
mutterings
for
of a Josh, but yeah, I don't know who that is.
Remember a couple years
It's
ago when they had the Josh fight? Like there was, I think it was somewhere in Michigan where like literally hundreds of Joshes all showed up to the same place and like had a giant LARP battle.
Oh, yeah.
Like, declared the king of the Joshes or something like that.
Fight to the death
Looked like
of the
something.
Joshes.
Yeah, looked like something pretty fun.
The dude from Gastonia, North Carolina. We're gonna get brief tidbits until we finally figure out who this guy is.
Mark,
All right,
use
North
the
Carolina,
His
we're
name
getting there.
is what?
You're the only one who has access to a computer. Like,
Well,
where
we know how this works.
I'm typing on my steering wheel and
Gastonia, South
every time
Carolina,
you start
population
Googling
1.
shit, then everything goes off
Josh.
the rails.
Oh fuck.
Well, while
So I
Mark
hear
tries
that
to
most
find
white
out
girls
about,
have dated a Josh.
this.
Most white girls that dated a Josh.
That's what I've heard. My
It's a
wife
very
has dated
common
like 17 Justins actually of all the names in the world. Make it really weird.
Not
Yeah.
me. She did not look familiar when we met.
Yeah. Her ex before me was a Justin, and he was actually pretty tall too. He passed away from colon cancer like a couple years ago, like 30 something. Holy shit, that's terrifying. That's a bad way to fucking go.
So did it make you feel a little insecure when we hung out?
No, not really. I'm pretty confident in myself, in that regard. Like, if she's gonna leave me, it's not gonna be for a dude. I'm confident of that. So I'm not worried about other guys.
We won't go there.
All right. Probably a good idea we don't. I probably said too much.
Not with the kids in the truck.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. See, when I can forget about it, I can just forget about it. It's great.
I mean, they can't hear you, but they can hear me.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Fair enough. So, other than Dee's personal life, actually, we did go out last night for dinner, and I might have had the best steak of my life. It's some little place I wouldn't have expected, so that was pretty cool.
Mark,
Where'd you go?
Not much more to elaborate.
Mark, update us on this Josh character.
I'm running out of material here, Mark. Come on.
I was working behind the scenes. Josh
Oh,
War.
so nothing still? Okay.
Gastonia, please. What the hell is this? Release video of veteran's arrest that shows officer stunning dog. Is this what we're talking about, Corey?
Stoned the dog or stunned the dog?
Stunned the dog, didn't stone.
Okay. That makes more sense in this country.
I shouldn't laugh. That's awful.
Yeah, no, that is always the worst when the dog gets.
Police
I
officer
guess he
shocked
just-
a
he just
service
stunned him.
dog. Yeah.
So
They shocked a
apparently-
service dog with a stun gun during an arrest. The dog died in a crash a few days later.
Wow.
Wait, so the dog didn't die from a stunning, it died in a crash.
Unrelated, that's odd.
Yeah.
The helicopter that airlifted the dog hit a mountain.
I mean, the fact that they only stun the dog shows that dogs get better or get preferential treatment over black people.
In Gastonia.
If you really want to get people upset, you do something to a dog. You know, look in a movie where they kill it, or like a horror movie where like the dog dies. Oh my god, that's like you get way more angry letters from that than like a child dying in a horror movie. Way more.
It's a service dog too, named Sunshine. So it's
Oh,
a double duty dog. They're such good boys too.
poops twice.
What? Oh, I get it.
Mark's a little slow on the potty humor.
Oh mercy.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah. What was he being arrested for? Does it say? We know how upset to be.
Probably some dumb shit.
Probably.
Speaking of
Especially-
being arrested for some dumb shit. Yeah, that's the end. Did you? So apparently, the Biden administration was trying to offer up a trade with Russia, where they get a arms dealer called the Merchant of Death, and in return, we get Brittany Griner and a Marine. That sounds like a fair deal. Fortunately, Russia actually said no. They're like, nah, you can keep him. He's been in jail over there for long enough. We don't need him back, and we're gonna keep your Marine and your basketball player and just make an example of her.
I do love arms dealers, but what are the odds that we were going to trade him and they were just going to let him go? So, you know, I guess it's a wash.
They probably don't want him back because he, from what I saw of it, he was like running guns to Africa and South America after the collapse of the Soviet Union. So this probably wasn't state-sanctioned activity. Like
a Lord of War scenario.
Yeah, like I don't think he was doing the bidding of the new Russian government. I think he was running rogue. So they probably consider him as much of a criminal as we do.
Still based, but you know, what are you
Who
going to
is
do?
Toots the driving cat?
Toots is the driving cat, the cat who could drive a car. It was a old skit on Saturday Night Live. He was a recurring character. He would basically be chauffeuring somebody, and comedy would ensue because it's a cat that, you know,
That drives.
driving a car. So
Was this back when SNL was actually good?
yeah, I think this was like early '90s, if I had to guess. Maybe late '80s-ish, something like that. Era, yeah. What brought up Toonses?
Steven first said the dog was driving, and then he said, like, Toots the driving cat.
His window tint was too dark, or, you know, if he's in Florida, maybe his music was too loud. His Baja Men was playing a little too loud. Anybody get the reference?
No.
Who Let the Dogs Out? No? Okay.
Ah.
1997? No?
Nice.
Okay.
I know the song. I'd say it. Well, where did Justin go? Oh, no. It looks like
Am I
you
back?
went through a portal.
Sorry,
Yeah,
we
you
were
came
driving
back.
through the bottoms.
But it looked like you went through a portal and you're going like 50 miles per hour. Faster. I can't talk.
Yeah, the COVID gets you like that, man.
I mean, basically we did. Basically we did go through a portal. There's a spot in the bottoms through this stretch that like everything just drops out. Like it's only about like 300 yards, but everything just goes completely dead.
I hate dropping bottom. There's just so much there.
Dice got all the jokes today. Really
And
carrying
now with the whole
broadcast.
Zoom meeting, yeah, with the bottom-friendly menu and everything, it just makes
Yeah,
that word so much.
can't.
There's so many more layers now. That's all. I'm still getting the hang of it.
It's all right. I probably never will get the hang of it. So
I know.
least you're
I'm
making
struggling
an
to
attempt.
adjust to this world. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older, if it's just changing faster than ever.
Hey, so what do you guys think about the Farmer's Almanac?
What about it?
I don't know. Is it accurate? Is it a good source of information?
I've had a couple. I've never like put it to the test. Like I probably should. Like I should probably do that this year. Get one and actually check and see how accurate it ends up being. To answer your question, I don't know. It probably varies on location. Some people will probably live in areas that are a bit more regular, predictable than others.
Leighton says he has a weed Farmer's Almanac, which doesn't surprise me at all. It's dope. I bet it is. I found over my sickness, I found the 2017 Farmer's Almanac lying around, and I read that thing front page to back page. And then after I read it, I was like, why did I just read the entirety of the 2017 Farmer's Almanac? But I kind of enjoyed it.
Is it a lot of charts and stuff?
There's a lot of charts. It kind of tells you what the weather's going to be like. So I tried to remember what August of 2017 was like.
What the hell? Every
see if
time
it
I
was,
leave,
accurate.
y'all just revert straight to farming.
And this is Mark's doing. Of all people.
Farming and weather.
Do you have anywhere to like to garden or anything? Like even like a balcony or anything where you live?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I could start a garden in the backyard.
You actually have like a yard or something?
Yeah.
Oh, you live way up there though. Your gardening season's winding down. I was gonna say you should get something going, man. I'll send you some seeds.
Yeah, send them up this way.
Oh, what the fuck is this? The dude in front of me on just like a flatbed trailer, like an equipment trailer, has a load of fucking lime rock and dirt and fucking gravel, and it's like uncovered and shit. And I'm fucking behind him. What the fuck are you doing, dude? Some of us have
Wait, on
windshield.
a flatbed?
Look at this. Look. Can you see that?
Wow.
Just fucking lime rock and fucking dirt and shit. All right, let me get around this asshole. Holy fuck.
Yeah. That dude's like, oh, there are other people on the road? Yeah, fuck all of y'all.
Fuck your paint jobs and windshields and fucking motorcyclist faces. Oh, fucking Christ.
So, to answer your question about the Farmer's Almanac and climate change, Stephen, I was informed that maybe the Farmer's Almanac isn't as cucked when it comes to climate change because they have all of the historical data. But I don't know if
Yeah, I
that's
mean, it's
true.
there. That's true. I mean, they would be the people to check.
They'd be like,
It's
well,
like-
the hottest year was in 1875, and then it got cold for a little bit, and then it got warm again. So,
Well, like, they go back to, like in France, like, the people who have kept the best records of the weather, like, ever have been, like, winemakers. So they have, like, records of the weather that go back, like, you know, like 1,000 years or something that are extremely accurate. And, yeah, some people looking at that are like, yeah, dude, like, it's been colder, it's been hotter, it's been all this shit, you know? Like, it does this. The weather does things. Normal.
news flash.
Crazy, right? Like, what was it they were talking about? I saw a couple articles that said the reason we're experiencing such high temperatures. I was like, because it's fucking July. I don't know. Seems to make sense.
It is fucking July.
We're almost August, right? I don't even
I
know.
want to be jumping the gun, but been feeling some nice cool weather on the breeze. If you're in the shade, I know it's still a couple months away. But
then there.
yeah, man, I think we might be over the hump. Like we might be on the downward slope now. I do this every year though. I get like really like cautiously optimistic, and I think just I just want it to be cooler, so I try to will it to existence. But yeah,
it's been kind of cooler here this week, but now I'm seeing next week it's going to be like 4 straight days of 90s again.
Bummer, man.
Stop!
So it looks like I'm going to a Comic-Con this weekend. I've never been to a Comic-Con.
Oh, wow.
Either you guys ever been?
What is going on? Why are there two just... Look at... Oh, wait.
Sorry, I was trying to fix it.
There were 2 of you
I'm aware.
down at this bottom screen. That was the strangest thing I'd ever seen in my life.
I'm aware because I was on my phone and I was switching from my phone to my computer. Yes, I've been to I went to a Comic-Con in Philly.
Yeah, of course he's been.
In 2014 when I was living up there. It was a lot of fun.
Is it cool?
Do you have to dress up?
You don't have to dress up. It's not like there's a requirement that you dress up.
He sounds so upset. He said, but I did dress up. Yes.
We can go as Mulder and Scully. There'll probably be a lot of people doing that.
Actually, well, I mean, at the one I went to, there weren't a whole lot of Mulder and Scullys. It was a lot of Marvel characters and video game characters and stuff like that. I did see Lou Ferrigno. That dude is fucking massive.
That
Did you
name
go to
sounds
see
familiar.
any of the breakout room talks or anything, or you just walk around to the booths and look at stuff? What do you
I
recommend?
just walked around and looked at stuff, and then I took my son. We went for his birthday. What was that? Year before COVID? 19? Yeah, in 19 we went to Indianapolis to Comic-Con there, and we bought a bunch of art and stuff. Like the art booths are what I really enjoy. I mean, there's other stuff going on, but the art stuff is really cool.
Oh yeah, not bad. That's interesting.
How'd you get roped into going, Dag?
Oh, we have friends who are going, and they invited us, so we're gonna do it.
I know you're a big comic fan and everything.
No, not particularly, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I assume there's stuff other than comic book stuff, right? Is it right? I guess maybe I'm thinking of a sci-fi convention, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be all over that. But I assume they'll have other pop culture stuff and movie stuff. I'm kind of into some movie stuff, so
You should bring your former stick figure boob art collection and see if you can sell a few copies.
See if I can make a couple bucks. I mean, it's vintage at this point.
The Adventures of the Newspaper Eraser Man.
It's like you sell it as 90s, some sort of 90s vintage pornography, and I think people would buy it pre-internet porn.
I think our fourth co-host would probably purchase some of it. Draw him a few mustaches.
With that mustache, he's probably starred in a couple.
I was gonna say he probably used to do the same thing. He probably has a collection just like me. Oh fuck!
So I'm at my computer and I can actually see some of the stuff that I'd marked tabs on. Did y'all see? Eating too much protein makes your pee a problem pollutant in the U.S.
I saw something about this, yeah.
I'm like, why are people still using indoor plumbing to pee? That's the reason God put trees on the earth, and so you can pee on them.
What a waste of water.
Right?
A flush, tinkle. Give me a break.
Pee outside like nature intended, and you don't have the problem of pollutants.
Growing up, we used to have some big rhubarb plants. And for some reason, those were our favorite things to piss on. And then my great grandma came up to visit one summer, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna use this rhubarb," and she made some rhubarb pie. None of us ate it. We're like, "No, Grandma, we're good."
It's a little sulfury, don't you think?
We don't want that.
Oh fuck! I don't think I've ever had rhubarb. Rhubarb anything?
No, it's not bad.
No.
As long as you don't have pee all over it. It's pretty good.
Is that the one where the leaves are toxic and you just use the stems?
I think so. It's like a purple.
Sounds about right. Yeah. My wife's been collecting castor beans to make castor oil to make soap.
Oh, nice.
And apparently they're like really like toxic. Like if you eat them, like I guess that's how they make ricin or something. But apparently just like a couple of the beans make you really sick.
But it's fine to just lather all over your body.
Yeah, I guess the oil isn't toxic. And it's not use a ton of it anyhow. I think there's a way to make. I think it was that using that stuff she was talking about make the like Epicac, that makes you throw up. Maybe it was the cat. I don't know. Don't take that's her department, not mine. I should stop giving semi-medical advice.
Layton's at home writing down notes like.
Yeah. No, eat
Sell some
17 castor beans. All right, cool, got it. Yeah.
It's really dark in your house, Justin.
She did make soap recently.
Is she selling her soap?
Wife setting.
Wait, I think we lost Dag.
I'll turn the light on then.
No, I wasn't judging the darkness of your room.
Maybe sometimes I like to just sit in the dark.
You looked kind of like a gamer, just sitting in the dark. Your basement, your mother's basement.
When I originally started my podcast, I did it from the basement of our old house. I was going to call it
Wow.
The original show title was going to be the Basement Dwellers, but then as I looked into it, there's actually a whole bunch of shows called The Basement Dwellers, and it's all a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons weirdos. So I was like, maybe not.
You don't want to take that.
Yeah.
Steven is accusing me of lying about something, and I'm not sure what.
Lots of things, I'm sure. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
No. Did we talk about this last Friday?
Oh, that's right. We did talk about this last Friday. We're going to start a Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to have our D&D.
Did we set that in stone?
Well, I mean, it's about as set in stone as our football league.
Dexter. Isn't Dexter the serial killer? Or he kills serial killers?
Hey.
Yes. Dexter is the serial killer. You never watched that? It's actually really good. I mean, it's really good up to season 4, and then seasons like 5 is decent, 6 is kind of 7 is not bad, and then 8 was kind of crappy, and then they did some other like new thing, and it was complete shit. So
Steven's son plays D&D, and so he's going to help us. But what really is going to happen is Steven's going to play D&D too, and his son is going to help him.
Hey, no fair.
We talked about I think we talked about this on the Saturday night stream that you were too sick to join us for.
Yeah, that's right. We did. I forgot all about D&D.
Because we just need a dungeon master. We need somebody that's like good at narrative storytelling and stuff to help the game flow.
I can do that.
No, you're gonna play. You have to be a dwarf with a pickaxe and some magic shit or something.
I don't want to be one.
This seems like something Mosley would be into. I don't know why. Is he into D&D?
I don't know. I'll ask him.
I feel like there's somebody who talks about that they're into it. I don't think it's just like Paz. I don't think it's just Paz. I think there's somebody else. I can't remember who
Why
it
are
was.
you drinking milk? Use coffee.
He's mad at his son for drinking milk.
He has IBS.
He said, drink that.
Yeah, that's his milk.
Okay.
He has IBS. Milk is terrible for IBS, and he drinks the shit out of milk. Like, I thought he had a glass of chocolate milk. He has
I have a glass of coffee.
Pun
which
intended.
looks like fucking chocolate milk, so it's even worse.
Because of your chocolate creamer.
Which I use very, very, very little of, but you make it like half and half. Who wants anybody want a kid?
He puts creamer in the milk?
No, coffee.
Yes, absolutely.
Chocolate creamer. Yeesh. I don't know what's.
I hope it's-
Dag, we're getting like every 7 words right now. Yeah, I thought this was funny too. He drinks his shit.
Let's see. Was there anything else funny that happened this week? I mean, everything was funny this week. All I've done is laugh this week. Like everything that's in the news is supposed
San
to be.
Francisco declares state of emergency for gay pox.
Oh my gosh! After what was the guy that was on Kennedy that made the comment about the gay orgies?
What is his name? I don't know what it. They went after that dude for speaking the truth.
I know, wasn't that like Ned Ryan? He said that don't attend gay orgies, and that'll help prevent the spread of monkeypox. And then, of course, your
Brad
best friend next door, your best friend and next door neighbor had to like go off and call him.
Yeah, his panties all in an uproar, and yeah.
You can't say things like that. Well, all of the research says that it's actually true. That's bigoted. Facts.
I refuse to believe that gay orgies take place in my town.
You can refuse to believe it all you want, but
since Brad is here, you think it's likely that they do.
You know where I can almost guarantee you there aren't any gay orgies happening?
Greensburg, Indiana, or wherever it is you are in Indiana.
I was going to say wherever me and Dag and Clyde live out in the boonies, so it's not a lot of...
You know Clyde throws a gay orgy at his house every weekend.
I think he technically calls that a bisexual orgy. It's not gay.
Yeah, so it's okay. Yeah, we have a lot of big bisexual orgies, but not a lot of gay orgies, so it's cool. Yeah.
Well, that's like there were people were saying, well, what about straight orgies? I'm like, that's not a thing. Like,
yeah,
that doesn't exist. But once you're there,
yeah, not the same. Yeah, not the same way. Like there are like sex like parties and shit like that, but they tend to be a lot more like people use protection and only have sex with like 1 or 2. Like it's like a swinger thing. It's not like you go have sex with 10 different people when you go to one of these things. So that's
Mark is really
intrigued.
You're gonna have to tell him more.
No,
about
he's
this
really
party
detailing this out for us.
No, I mean I'm just saying like there are like I mean things like that exist probably more than most people realize. But yeah, I think there is a difference between those two items.
Yeah.
But I
don't
mean,
know,
not
I
like
feel
I've
like
been
a
here, so.
quote unquote straight orgies got an element of gayness to it, though. I feel like.
I mean,
an element of gayness to it. So you said?
Yeah, just kind of. Yeah.
Is a threesome gay?
Well, we're gonna get into this question here on the show right now. Is a threesome gay? If it's 2 guys and a girl, yes, it's gay.
Not if they high five. You high
right.
five over her back. It's not gay.
That's right. You do that. You complete the tower and then not gay. That's like you're winning. The Eiffel
Exactly.
Tower. Mark
Yeah.
Mark obviously doesn't know anything
Exactly.
about Eiffel Tower, is there?
Yeah, because I'm not gay.
I've never actually been in one like that. I've been in the other kind. But.
Yeah, I got all silent.
We're not going to get into that on a weekday show.
Dag was rolling back into fond memories of.
Yeah, it's just like.
Oh, remember that one time? Remember that other time?
It's your son. I keep forgetting he's around. He's probably back
Might
there
have.
sipping on his chocolate milk.
He's playing video games like a loser. See, he didn't even hear me. Did y'all see 81% of Gen Z men are open to trying male oral birth control pill. So yeah, let's start popping some new experimental thing. Like the other experimental shit they're shooting up isn't going to kill them fast enough.
Male birth control is a pill,
That's what it says,
so it just causes you to shoot blanks.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not harmful at all.
Right? I mean, birth control itself seems to be pretty damaging.
That it
All
does.
things considered, when you look at women's health these days, like, am I wrong on that? Like, when you look at the general state of women's health, and all the birth control and antidepressants and everything else that they're on, like, you know, maybe spending more time in the kitchen and popping out babies would actually be a positive thing for most of them. I don't know. Just saying, like, my grandmother doesn't have any of these problems.
Sure, I don't disagree. The healthiest women I know are the ones that are mothers. Dag is
Try to find a spot that I can sit and you guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
right now. We can.
Okay, so this one spot in the middle of this intersection works. I'm just going to sit here for the next 15 minutes while we finish the show.
If the cops show
Yeah,
up,
stay right there.
if the cops show up to like try to find out if something's wrong, run. Just
Yeah.
run. Hold the phone up so we can see the chase. Like,
Don't get
It'll be-
tased, please.
It'd be good for the show.
Your
I
best.
think I found a
Best
spot I
rated
can sit
episode
here and
ever.
actually have a few bars.
Pull off, pull off the. Do you know who
Dad
I
gets
am?
tased.
Stu? Say I'm one of the
Oh,
co-hosts
yeah, I like
of the
that one.
morning after show.
So did
Oh,
y'all-
excuse me,
did y'all
sir. Get on with it.
Did y'all see where like New York and Washington D.C. and all these liberal cities are getting pissed off because Texas and Arizona keep sending immigrants to them by the busloads, and now it's like overrunning their cities. But then at the same time, the good people of Mexico City are getting pissed off at Americans because there are so many Americans immigrating to Mexico City and taking over and changing the demographics and everything. I don't think any of the Americans are stealing their jobs, but they're definitely moving in and messing up the lifestyle that exists down there.
Well, as far as the Arizona to New York thing goes, this is a simple fix. New York just needs to start busing their homeless people to Arizona in equal numbers, you know? Because, I mean, I'll take illegal immigrants over homeless any day of the week, right? I mean, like, we're shipping in productivity and shipping out whatever the fuck that is. So I'd say just trade them that.
That is a, that's an interesting policy proposal.
Yeah, hey, fuck it.
And the cool
Someone
thing,
who hates the government so much, Dag, you got some interesting positions there.
Hey, I'm saying, if they're already shipping them one way, I'm just, you know, hey, man, going to play their
Yeah,
game.
this is a new kind of replacement theory.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, my bad.
one the fun thing with shipping all of them to Arizona is you can just walk them out into the desert and forget about them. You know, let nature deal with those.
I mean, yeah, even like the American-Mexican problem, like we just trade our folks living off the government dole for Mexican immigrants, and I think that's a fair trade-off too.
Well, and it sounds
Yeah.
like it's a bunch of Californians that are going to Mexico. So, like, obviously, I can't say I blame them for being pissed off. Like, I wouldn't want any of them coming to Indiana.
No.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have several friends who have moved to Mexico, for freedom. but yeah, there is definitely a big movement there, and I think even I don't know, like aside from the Liberty community that moves there, is there a big like wave of like normies or whatever you want to call them moving there as well, or is it just like Liberty people? I'd have to assume if there's that many that it's causing a noticeable issue, it's got to be like regular people too, right?
Yeah, it sounds like it's a significant influx. Like it's not just a bunch of like libertarians trying to escape U.S. government tyranny. Like it's everybody. Or not
You would
everybody.
think these last 5 minutes would have been a bat signal for Carlos, but he's still not in the chat. So we don't have an expert opinion.
It's not the great replacement. It's the
great swap.
The great swap, yeah. And that's a much better trade than Brittany Griner for the Merchant of Death. Like, we get a bunch of Mexicans, they get a bunch of Californians. Everything works out.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't Chelsea Manning a part of a swap, prisoner swap? Or am I thinking of someone else?
No, I don't think so. I think she or whatever got arrested by the U.S.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong. It was a long time ago.
She was a U.S. prisoner.
Yeah.
Well,
there was
Obama made some sort of like prisoner swap with ISIS at one point, and it was like we got the deserter.
There was, that dude who went AWOL or something, I guess.
Bo Bergdahl.
I remember some story of some dude. Yeah. I think that's what happened. God, it just feels like forever ago, doesn't it? Like anything like 2015 or before, it's just like so ancient.
I don't know what made me think of that. I guess bad swaps.
Oh shit! It happens.
That was back when ISIS was the most dangerous part of the world.
I remember anytime someone said something about ISIS, I was just like laughed. I was like, really? Like you're afraid of ISIS? Like what do I do? Come over here.
We could be attacked by them at any moment.
Yeah. Shit.
Different world.
You know what I saw on a truck the other day and brought back a lot of memories was remember the old terrorist hunting permits that people would get and put the stickers in their car,
I thought you were
after 9/11. No. I haven't seen them in a while. Used to have a lot of them around here.
They're still pretty prevalent in Kentucky.
Glad to hear they're hanging on. I hate to see the truck nut manufacturers go out of business. Be real lost.
Why is your son creeping behind you right now?
He's.
Oh my God, he's got a spear.
I
wonder how much we'd get of that.
I keep the spear handy. He wouldn't make it very far. He's kind of a wimp. Shut up.
I think he's trying to push his button to the point where he does attack him.
Well, I got to get him good and pissed off. That way, whenever he goes to mow the yard, he'll mow good.
He works better when he's pissed off.
Yeah.
Me too.
And he does that. He does that angry mowing, like you can see it in his face.
Justin claimed self-defense when he beats him later too. So.
It's like I got video. Did you see his face? He was definitely trying to hurt me.
In the words of AOC, he was obviously aggressive and threatening. And the Capitol Police just stood there and did nothing about it. So,
What does she want them to do?
I know. I'm sure Alex is smart enough to not actually say anything that could be construed legally as like threatening. I'm sure he planned that shit out ahead of time, what he was going to say, and probably took that into consideration. Because they're walking a fine line when you start yelling sexual things at a congressperson, I'm sure, but.
Well, like, what do they want? What did she want him to do? He wasn't threatening her in any way. He wasn't even close enough to touch her until she came over to him and said, let's get a selfie. Everything that he was saying was complimentary and in a friendly tone. He wasn't like yelling or berating or doing anything. And I know that doesn't, for any feminist whatever that might watch the show, which I'm pretty sure our audience has exactly
I'd be
zero.
shocked.
Yeah, I think our audience has exactly 0 females, except on the rare occasion when Shannon pops in. But yeah, like just because it's friendly and nice doesn't mean it's not sexual harassment. I understand that, but still, like, it's not like there was anything about his behavior would lead the Capitol Police to believe that they needed to go do something about this guy. And she even walked over and said, let's get a selfie. So it's not like she was telling Capitol Police, hey, he's harassing me. You need to go take care of him. Like,
I didn't know that she went and got a selfie with him. That must have been like right when it happened, huh? So do you think like she went in and then found out who he was and then started to stink?
Right. I think after she found out who he was, that's when she started all the bullshit. And then she was like, he was harassing me. And she even said that when she went over to get a selfie, that she was getting ready to go punch him. But instead she was like, let's get a selfie. Like, to be joking. Like, you had like a big shit-eating grin on your face. You were loving all the attention you were getting. You weren't trying to go punch somebody.
I would have had mad respect for her if she did go over and hit him, though. That would have been cool. Like, that would, I guess it's like, don't ask the cop to do anything, but if some dude's catcalling a chick and she goes over and punches him in the face, I'm kind of cool with it. You know?
Well, and that would have
the best way to handle it, but
that would have added to his street cred too. Like, if he
and
got
hers.
If he got punched by AOC, that's like through the roof.
She probably thought he was a black dude at first and was all about it, and then saw he's white and was like, oh no, I have to be offended.
Mark, she dates a guy that looks exactly like you. She
doesn't
have a problem with white people.
She has a, well, she's like, do you think that they're actually dating, or is he just there?
Placed.
To be there?
You know, I started doing a small amount of research on him, but anything that I could find, like article-wise, was very, 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 like, friendly to him and, like, AOC. Like, they were, like, these, like, puff piece to make them look good, and I got really tired of that. But I was really hoping to find, something like his dad was in the CIA or some shit, you know, but, they didn't go that deep into it, and I didn't care enough to put in any more time. But I'm kind of curious. Yeah.
Yeah, we really need you to look into this some more, Dad. You're gonna have to stomach these puff pieces.
I'll see what I can do. I'm a little busy these days, but you know, for the good of the show.
You are broadcasting from the road more than you're at home here lately.
Well, typically I make Mondays my day that, you know, I can dedicate to, you know, do this, you know, and I need a day. But yeah, this Monday I had the incident with the wife's tire, so I had to broadcast on the road. Otherwise, I've just been trying to pick up for Mark and Clyde slack on Wednesday and Fridays.
Oh, and we didn't even talk about Clyde today. He's
again with the tone, but all right.
We didn't even talk about Clyde today. He retreated back to Yankee Land. I guess it was getting too warm for him in Georgia. He had to run back north to New York. And
is he? Is this that trip that he's taking without his family, or is his whole family with him?
From the way he was talking the other day, he definitely didn't take his wife because he was trying to get everything situated with all of the animals, because apparently his wife doesn't do it right if he doesn't like get everything perfectly set up for her. She wants to screw with his system or something.
My wife overfeeds the animals when I'm not home also, but I just stopped bitching about it. Whatever. She likes feeding the animals, so go for it. But as the person who buys the feed,
So my wife does that too. It must be a woman thing. But
they're nurturers.
Only with the hay. She just gives them like way too much hay. I'm like, they're still hay. They need to eat what's over there. Don't give them a brand new bale when they've still got half a bale. Like, make them fucking eat the hay that you already gave them. And maybe even like don't give them some for a couple days after they eat it, so they'll eat some of this grass, so I don't have to get in there and mow it. Strategically starve the animals. It's it's good for business.
Sound like a good old Mao policy you got going there.
Makes them work harder.
That's right.
Especially the chickens.
And then they appreciate it more when you do feed them.
Yep.
You're real excited, and like they really want to give you their love then, because it's like, oh, you didn't completely forget about us. You still care. Thank you.
That's your secret for the sheep.
I mean, similar parenting tactics, I guess.
Withhold food, yeah, I can see that.
not necessarily food, but like don't when they ask for stuff all the time, just make it your default. Say no all the time, and then every once in a while you throw them a bone. Like, yeah, we're gonna go do something fun, and they're like, oh yeah, he does love us.
Never say I love you until they're on their deathbed, and that way when you say it, it really is, helps them.
Really drives it home. It's like then they know that at this moment they finally earned it.
There's some things a man never says to another man unless he's drunk or dying. That's it, son.
Mark's taking notes, so when he has kids of his own, he can.
Oh, man. I used to put plates of food out on the table for the kids, and they'd still accuse me of withholding food from them because it was the food they didn't want. I was like, look,
Like you were literally putting the food on the table, and there
it's right there.
He's withholding food from me.
Just because it's not what you wanted.
Well,
the religion prohibits eating any pork, and Mark just gives them a whole plate of pork. It's like, eat it, boy. All food in the world. What? I can make anything. You want shellfish? I got a whole bucket of shellfish back there.
Mark drops a giant plate of bacon right on the table. Like, eat up, boys. What you waiting for?
Dig away.
We had a foreign exchange student come live with us when I was in middle school, and he was from France, and they didn't tell us ahead of time that he was Jewish. And so the first night, he comes to stay, my mom had made pork. He was like, is this pork? She's like, yeah, why? That was kind of funny.
That's funny.
Yep. All right. We got anything else?
I got nothing.
I thought I had something, but I lost it. Probably because I'm retarded.
Yeah.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.